and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome, 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 live from the AMP Media Studios in Boca Raton, Florida. Hosts Don and Freddy S. Take it up a notch to make your evening a bit spicier. More laughs and just some added evening fun. It's the Brooklyn Cafe Show After Hours, coming to your radio waves on True Oldies VCMG Live. If you want to join us on the show or to share a thought or idea, give us a call at 866-224-5422. Hey, and win tickets to a live broadcast of the show.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tainah Georges. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Show After Hours. I have taken over, guys. I'm taking over. I have Freddy and Dawn are here, but I'm taking over. I came here because I had to be here. I had to be here because I work for Fusion Academy in Boca. Our enrollments are rolling in, and I want to make sure that every parent knows that there is an option, and that option is Fusion Academy. So I'm going to get into that. Don't worry, I'll get into all the details, who we are, where we're located. But I'm so happy to be here. Such a nice studio. I'm so happy to have been invited to talk to you guys. Freddie, Dawn, are we over there? Are we over there?
We're here. We're all good.
Yes.
We're checking. I'm checking on my YouTube stream to send it out for you.
Oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So Dawn reached out and a couple of weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I came by the studio and I was like, this is amazing. I went to school for media, so this was like home again when I was my college days, and they gave me the opportunity to be here. So I was like, I'm coming over and I'm taking over the evening show, and we're going to talk and share more about Fusion and talk about our Thursday. It's almost Friday, the weekend plans, and I'll give you guys the number to call if you have any questions. We have a live studio audience here. The number is 888-994-4995. Again, 888-994-4995. So, guys, what are we talking about today?
Let's talk about Fusion, because we had the privilege and the honor of going to visit Fusion Academy with Jennifer Gutschmidt, and she actually used to work with us and WNN at the time. So 2 years ago.
Yes.
And she was one of the best interviewers ever. So we were so thrilled that she reached out to us. She said, come over, take a look at Fusion Academy. We were blown away. It was still summer, so you were on your summer schedule hiatus. There was a couple of kids there. The school is just spectacular. It's located right in the middle of Boca Raton. And your hospitality, I think what blew Freddie away the most was the gift bag we got when we left.
Nice gift bags.
Like Freddie does, I have not taken anything out of it. I still have the gift
Really?
bag. Yes. And I
Not
put it on
us,
my
we
mantle.
used it all.
Yes, they
That was
always
2
use
years ago, Freddie. What are you holding on to?
No, this was last month, and we went to see
last
Fusion.
month. Oh, you were working with
We took a
Jennifer 2
tour.
years ago. Oh.
And they gave us a gift bag.
Okay,
and I
I'll
was
give you
so
another gift bag.
I was so floored.
We got a beach ball, a beautiful candle. What'd you
Yeah.
take? The gift bag too?
Who, me?
He's waving.
Who's waving? Oh, jeez. But it was really different. The school, the way you do things. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about how the school works?
Yeah, Dawn, you mentioned the hospitality. The hospitality is really what got me to even start working at Fusion. You feel it as soon as you walk in. And you mentioned Jennifer Gutschmidt. She's our campus director. She does a phenomenal job with that campus. Everyone she hires, she makes sure she hires people not just to put bodies in the building, but to make sure like everyone's personalities will mesh, and that hospitality is there. And when you walk in, you definitely feel it. And when I walked in, I felt, and I was like, when is this going to wear off? And it doesn't wear off because that's, you know, who Fusion is. So overall, Fusion Academy is a middle and high school, so grades 6 through 12. But our niche is really that all our classes are taught one-on-one. So people are like, all the classes? all the classes. So with that, you get that teacher attention. You can go over the details and take your time more to deliver the material and really customize the curriculum for students to find success. So that's really one thing that we absolutely love about Fusion. The parents love it. When people hear it, they love it. And the students love it too because they can actually really, really learn. So that's a really fun part about Fusion.
How many students do you have there?
So it depends. It's kind of hard to say, and I hate to say it depends, but we have rolling admissions. So because we have rolling admissions, last year, for example, we had 93 students. This year, we're peaking even higher than last year. So that's why I wanted to come on the show, because we are approaching a wait list, which we're really excited about, but we are approaching that wait list.
And you have over 80 Fusion academies around the country, correct?
Yes, we do. And a lot of people I've never even heard about Fusion. We have 3 here in Florida, but we're all over. Literally it's actually 82 campuses, and there's more to come. And we're in New Jersey, Connecticut, Texas, Atlanta, California. We're really big in California. Just pretty much everywhere. A lot of campuses.
What do you think makes Fusion stand out from the other private schools in our community?
Well, that one-on-one is a huge component. The other thing that we're also known for that parents absolutely love is our homework cafe. So our students do all their homework in school. It's actually incorporated in their schedule. So there's no homework to take home. So parents don't have to figure out math solutions or science problems because everything is done at school. So that's the biggest thing. But when you want to get more into like the academics, the learning curve, I think when you're looking into different private schools that have 15, 20, 30 students in the classroom, sometimes the students may not get the information and the teacher can't see that the student is struggling with the information. The student may be shy, may not be able to raise their hand, where at Fusion with that one-on-one, the kid doesn't even have to raise their hand because it's only them and the teacher. So it's amazing.
How late do they stay to do homework? Because I remember when my kids were in middle school and high school, it was unmerciful. There was homework all day, all afternoon, all night. And I can't imagine you've got kids there all night long. So there must be a parameter or some boundaries on the amount of homework they're getting?
Well, they don't get bombarded with homework, and it's because after every class, the period after that class is the homework cafe. So after they're done with their class, they're able to go into their homework cafe and do the homework for that subject right away. You know what I mean? So because they're able to do that, the amount of work doesn't seem immense because they were able to do it after each class.
And what about the curriculum? Do you stick with the Florida core curriculum?
Yes, so all our students have to be able, I like to say, to land the plane, whatever that looks like, because the runway is really long, right? But they have to be able to be on the track. They have to be on the track for a standardized Florida State diploma.
Even for a private school, so it's the same type of programming curriculum for private versus public?
Yes. Yeah, so it's a regular Florida State diploma. We don't offer like a certificate of completion. It has to be a high school diploma.
And this is individualized one-on-one with a teacher, with somebody.
Yes.
So if, using myself as an example, I was not good at geometry, let's say, for argument's sake. Do they still stay with you until you get it? I mean, it could take more than the curriculum. Are they going to get that kind of attention?
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, right? So because it's one-on-one, if you don't get it, we could spend more time on it until you get it. You know what I mean? That's the beauty of it. Like I taught there last year. I was in the classroom last year, and so many times I've seen like the light bulb go off, like, oh my gosh, I finally get it. Because it's customized, we still have to learn, that 2 + 2 is 4, right? But how we get to learn that could vary from student to student, and we're able to take the time and do that.
It's an amazing opportunity. I was thinking about you and homework, and I'm thinking, when I was in high school, math for me was, you still see how I struggle with things, but I think part of it is because my math teacher said, you are not good at algebra. Not everything has a value. To me, everything has a value. If she hadn't said that to me and planted that seed of doubt in my head that I was not good at math and I should never go into math, maybe now I wouldn't have such trauma over numbers and math. because I think she implanted this seed that I just have to overcome it, that I'm really okay. I can really get through it. But when a teacher degrades you and makes you feel less than, it just sticks with you. And on a one-on-one, they don't. Because you were telling us a story last week, Tainah, about you had a kid come in with a situation and you didn't quite get to the curriculum at hand that day because you talked it out with them.
Right. It's so he came in the morning, first class 8:30 in the morning, and we're going through the class and he's not getting it. But because it's one-on-one, I could see, right? And I'm like, what's happening? Is everything okay? And he's like, I had a really rough weekend. Can I talk to you about it? Like, sure, let's talk about it. So we spoke about the weekend. And because of that, of course, I had to put the work aside a little bit so we can talk. But because of that, he was able to go through the rest of his day and actually focus on the rest of his classes. But then the next class, we catch up where we left off, and that changes everything.
Now that you bring that up, for me, English was not my first. It was, but it wasn't my first language. So I was embarrassed to feel like the left out.
Mm-hmm.
I was embarrassed that my teacher had to call my parents in to explain vocabulary to me. I was embarrassed. I was afraid to succeed because I kept thinking that people had eyes on me in the classrooms. And what I love about what you do is that it takes away the fear.
It does.
Of trying to succeed. So if you don't get it right and you have your one-on-one, that's the best. And then you feel comfortable because they're not going to make you feel like other students, other people in the school. I felt horrible. My reading grades were really small. And the books had a different color to the program that you were put into.
It's an SRA, right?
Yes. And I had the brown book. Oh, man, Freddy got the brown book?
So everyone knew you had the brown book.
So everybody.
That's terrible.
And I went home, I was about this big.
Of course.
And what it taught me was to go to summer school, to go to school, to like school, to keep going, because I was in the public education with 33, 36 students.
Yeah.
So I love when we went to do the tour. I was amazed because that one-on-one, I wish everybody could. I wish the whole curriculum was that way, not the way it is now.
But what about people who are listening to us? Let's talk about, I know they want you to do a commercial, but question first, socialization.
Socialization is big, and that's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up, Dawn. That's the first thing, maybe the third thing that parents ask is about socialization. And we have so much going on with socialization. We have all the students take their lunchtime at 12:30. So all the students are taking their lunchtime at the same time. So that gives an opportunity to socialize. We also have clubs. We have a lot of clubs. We have student government, which we had our election yesterday, as a matter of fact. And then we do a lot of school trips. We have, we'll go bowling, we'll go to Top Golf, we'll have game night on campus. We just had game night last week where the students come after hours. 5:30 to 7:30, and we feed them, and they come and they play games, and they're able to enjoy the friendships, because we actually seen friendships blossom from those opportunities. So plenty of us opportunities to socialize.
They get the best of both worlds. You want to take a commercial break?
Let's take a break.
All right, more to come on the other side of this break.
Yeah.
Join us again. Cafe After Hours. We'll be right back. With True Oldies Radio and Comcast TV, bring you the opportunity to spotlight your business on Monday Night Football on ESPN. By targeting your preferred Comcast region, your commercial will be spotlighted during NFL and NCAA football season, reaching over 1 million viewers. Let AMP help you amplify your impact in the community. Contact us at 866-224-5422 to create your own commercial today.
Love the Brooklyn Cafe? Don't miss out on some of the latest merch we have available. Need a new shirt? The Brooklyn Cafe has you covered. We have a variety of shirts in all sizes, ranging from the classic cafe shirt to the highly coveted colorful hot dog shirt. Need something for cold weather? Why not grab one of our cafe hoodies? Or you can snuggle up with one of our soft silk touch fabric blankets. The Brooklyn Cafe has everything you need, from clothing about the show to our signature coffee blends and mugs. Get it while supplies last.
Welcome back to the Brooklyn Cafe Show After Hours. And now, back to Don and Freddy S.
Okay, so we are back. Welcome back to the Brooklyn Cafe Show After Hours. I am Tainah Georges. I'm the Director of Admissions and Outreach at Fusion Academy right here in Boca. And I've taken over the show. I'm here, I've taken over, and Dawn and Freddy are sitting here as well. But I'm leading the show, so they get to ask me questions, and I get to talk a little bit about maybe the weekend plans. If you want to call us, you could call us at 888-994-4995. If you have any questions for me, if you have any questions for Dawn, if you have any questions for Freddy, we're here.
You know what I love so much? We do advertising, we do marketing. We work with a lot of companies and getting their message out, amplifying their impact, if you will. They are on point with branding and marketing. We joked about the gift bags, but everything was branded Fusion. You came in a community outreach tonight and you brought in a box of cookies for the crew. And you're always there, you and Jennifer, and we met another one of your teachers when we walked in. Hospitality, making people feel important, reaching out to the community, and branding. I mean, it was the right colors, and it was fun, and the whole feel of what you give out and the feel and the vibe of walking around the school is totally on point. And when we get to go out and do that, we're always looking, right? Because this is what we do.
Yeah.
You guys just raise the bar as a school, and I think that only sets the standard for your students to see when they go out in the real world of really what makes a good business person. What are you looking for? What are they going to be looking for when they're looking for a job or going to college? Because all of these little things, they matter.
They do. They do. And one of the reasons why we have, in order to graduate from Fusion, there's a class that you do have to take that emphasizes on interviewing, resume, how, manners. You're hoping that manners are taught at home, right? But sometimes they're not. So, we teach them, you have to open doors. You can't just cut in front of someone because, you want to rush to get that, one of the slices of pizza, things like that. So it is important. And I think they see, and as I mentioned before, I was in a classroom last year. So a lot of my students that saw me in a classroom last year, now they see me and they're like, oh, how do you like being a director? And, it's like, it's not a big deal, guys, but it is because, they see and they're like, oh, well, she was teaching before and now, so it's a promotion. Like, okay, so that's how life works. Okay, you do good and you get promoted. Okay, that's something I have to strive for, which is great.
And I want to ask you, every generation talks about, the younger generation, they're not good on social skills. They're always on their phone. They're not good in communication. Why do you find it so important to reach out to these kids and say, this is what you need to do for a job interview. This is what you should do. Hold the door open out of courtesy. Why is that so important to teach them manners? It's
so important because there's a real world out there, right? When they step out of their homes and actually put their phones down and, go to school or, go to work, it's not all about your phone, and you have to have the skills. You have to be able to have a conversation. How are you going to interview if you don't have any answers? You don't know how to express yourself. You don't know how to showcase what you've done. Those are all things that are important. So in the real world, because, I tell kids like, hey, there's a real world out there. If they don't know, you're going to fail.
And what about neurodiverse students? Do you take kids of all walks and races,
all
kinds?
walks, yes, all walks, all races, all kinds. And, as I mentioned before, they have to be able to land a plane. So they have to be on track for a traditional standard high school diploma. But no, we, students that may be on a spectrum, whatever that spectrum looks like, because that spectrum is big. But we also have athletes. We definitely have athletes that compete nationally that a traditional schedule wouldn't work for them because they have to leave. Last year when I taught, I had an equestrian. She had to leave by 12:30. Okay, Tainah, okay, I gotta go. Because she had to go to Wellington to go train. So we get a little bit of everything. We get parents that travel a lot, and because they travel a lot, their kids will be missing school. But because it's only one-on-one, it's them and the teacher, they can take the classes virtually. So now they could, sign into their classes via Zoom from Ireland, if they needed to. So those are all the things that we do, that the flexibility that we have, that
And you have it all. We even talked about sports teams. I know we saw the art room, we saw the sports area, we saw they had a whole chess.
The yoga. Did you see our yoga?
Oh my
The
gosh, your
yoga
mindfulness
studio?
room is
Yes,
amazing.
Yes, yes, yes.
That was great. You've got a great music room. You've got, I mean,
the tech room.
The tech room. We
The
saw.
science lab.
It was like a three-dimensional. It was like a sub that they were sending underwater.
Oh yeah, in the science lab.
What is it?
Yes,
So,
yes.
Tell us about that.
It's I don't want to get too technical about it because science was not my subject in school. But it is you could attach a camera to this makeshift machine that we have in our science lab and actually capture pictures underwater. So it's a really cool thing if you're into marine biology, for example, if that's your track. That could be something that could be used and to actually see and capture images underwater.
There are so many great programs that they have. Imagine the kids now, right? There's so much anxiety and depression and peer pressure to be able to have that one-on-one opportunity to say, you know what, I can talk to my teacher. I can do my homework afterwards. After school, I can do a club. I can do a sports team and not know that you have to go home and spend the next 6 hours doing. You can go out with friends. Everything is self-contained. It has to be, and I'm sure you have statistics on lowering the anxiety rate of your students versus a regular public school or private school setting.
Yeah, we've had students that have come to us because they have anxiety and they have a fear of going to school and they have the school avoidance. They get bullied in school. Like it's a real thing. Social media, I think, is detrimental to our younger generation. Because it causes issues like that. But we've seen that those students, when it comes to us, they don't have a problem walking into that door because they know our director of first impression is going to greet them. They know before they even get to their classroom, 2 or 3 teachers are going to say hi to them and, maybe crack a joke with them or something like that. So the ice is broken before they even get to their classroom, So they have that to look forward to and they feel that. So they feel comfortable and they actually enjoy going to school.
How do people take a tour so they can see the facility?
You give me a call. You give me a call if you're interested in taking a tour. You could call the campus directly at 561-953-9365, and you could ask for me and schedule a tour.
I can't believe how quickly the time goes.
I know, but this is such an important subject matter.
It is.
Such an important topic.
It is.
It's
I mean,
important.
you've got grandkids and they're young right now. They're not old enough to go to Fusion, but you already see your kids thinking, where am I going to send them to school? Because parents are worried about the security. Real quick, let's talk about your security.
Yes,
at the
I'm
school.
so happy you
That's
mentioned
really
that too.
important.
Yes,
So let's talk
it
about
is.
that.
So we're a locked facility. Even when students order delivery, like the food gets delivered outside, and one of the, the part of the leadership team, one of the teachers will grab the food and bring it inside. You can't just walk into the campus. Like the campus is locked at all times.
It's sad, but it's a commentary.
It's a
on
reality.
What we are right now as a society is we want our kids safe in the schools, and that we have to lock the schools. But you provide that safety as well for
that
everybody.
Safety is there. We do
and I
fire
know the
drills.
communication is there because Jennifer had told us that you've sent out mass emails
We
and
do, we
whatever
do.
platform you use to keep parents aware of what's going on,
Yes.
even in the community if there's something on a lockdown.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of communication too, every night the parents get a blurb from the teachers of what happened in our classroom, so the parents know when the kids is like, "How was school today? It was fine. What did you learn? Nothing. What did you do? Nothing. Okay, let me check.
Every
let me
day they
check the
get a
notes." Yeah,
communication?
absolutely, every day after every class.
Wow. When my
Yeah.
kids were in school, Chuck was the Edline police. We called him like the crop. Every night he was online looking at their grades. But now
Now
you
the
get a straight
teachers,
communication
you
right
get it
from the teachers. You don't
teacher.
have to navigate it.
My kids, when they went to school and Freddy was advanced, the parents put up a fight. They wanted to know what was in it for their kid. Oh, it was horrible. And Gio, well, you see how Gio is. What I love about this is that my kids would have really flourished under these circumstances.
I think most kids will flourish under
Yeah.
this circumstance.
A lot of kids flourish. It's a great environment. It's a great opportunity. I work there, so of course I agree with it. But I also taught in the classroom, so I see the advantage and the difference of that it makes in student success.
You want to give out the phone number again?
Yes, 561-953-9365.
Well, thank you for
Yes.
taking over the show for the
I
night.
totally took over. Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Such a pleasure. Check out Fusion Academy. Give Tainah a call. Schedule your tour. Say hello to Jennifer and all the teachers that are
I
there.
will.
And if you are a
Yay.
student in the area, check it out. If you are a parent and your kids are not here, they have virtual opportunities as well. It's all about making accommodations for the best learning experience for your children and your family.
And you won't be disappointed.
Ready to
I
wrap
can
this
tell
up?
you. Yep.
Happy Thursday to you.
You too.
Have a great night, everyone. Stay safe, be kind to each other, and we will see
Yes.
you on the cafe tomorrow, 9 a.m. drive time.
And as always, don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Awesome.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show After Hours. If you want to be a part of the show or simply call in, that's 866-224-5422. We'll see you next time.
The